Amazing recovery, a fork in the head and the long road ahead for an 11-year-old girl.
The Winter Olympics are winding down. The closing ceremony scheduled for Sunday. I'm Scott Swan in Torino, Italy, with a live report coming your way next.
Federal raid, a local man back taxes, and the federal investigation. Plus, remembering the life of actor Don Knotts.
From Indiana's news leader, this is Channel 13 Eyewitness News at 6 o'clock.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Lindsay Davis. Late word this evening, actor Don Knotts has died. He was 81 years old. Knotts was best known for his roles as Barney Fife on The Andy Griffith Show and the lovable landlord, Mr. Furley, on Three's Company. He passed away last night of pulmonary and respiratory complications in Beverly Hills, California. CNN's Sevilla Vargas has more on the life of Don Knotts.
We got to nip it! Nip it in the bud!
Don Knotts created the lovable, high-strung deputy Barney Fife on classic 60s sitcom The Andy Griffith Show. This Mayberry maverick earned the actor 5 Emmy Awards.
Well, I guess you'd be happy, too, if you'd just been offered an important job.
I have had, over the years, I don't know how many hundreds of people say, guys come up and say, hey, we've got a Barney Fife down our station.
A native of West Virginia, Knotts was a decorated Army veteran for his service in World War II. Back home and a move to New York, the comedian found work in television. He first made a name for himself as the jittery guy on The Steve Allen Show.
We take this too.
When I started out in the business, I didn't have any originality. But I came across the Durbus character in the Steve Allen Show. I actually dreamed that character.
A slapstick movie career followed in 1958. The Griffith-Knotts pairing debuted in No Time for Sergeants. He starred in 1966 Mayberry-esque The Ghost and Mr. Chicken, and in 1967's madcap comedy The Reluctant Astronaut. On the small screen, Knotts became a series regular on Three's Company. Then in the late 80s, there was a reteaming of the famous TV duo in Matlock.
Me? No, I'm retired.
Well into his 70s, Knotts played the TV repairman in the fantasy Pleasantville. The next year, he published his autobiography, Barney Fife and Other Characters I Have Known. 2 marriages and 2 children added to his story. Knotts was a brilliant comedian and writer who spent a lifetime making people laugh. Sevilla Vargas, CNN, Hollywood.
Tonight, a federal investigation involving a Carmel man and back taxes. Investigators want to seize countless items from several locations, including homes and cars, all worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Eyewitness News reporter Roger Harvey explains.
On February 16th, Chopper 13 captured a federal raid on tape in the Bay Hill subdivision of Carmel. On the ground, investigators confiscated numerous high-ticket items, including a Mercedes and a Jaguar. Authorities also took computers. According to court records, Sergio Buezo owns a company called Bayou Abatement. The business used several locations. This home on Bay Hill Drive, another house on Springbrook Run, and a group of suites here on North Pennsylvania in Carmel. Federal investigators claim the business made more than $10 million when it hired hundreds of illegal immigrants to do hurricane reconstruction work in Louisiana and Florida. But the company failed to pay federal withholding taxes. So where did the money go? Federal authorities say there was a $50,000 down payment for a home, $421,000 for cabinets and home upgrades, $241,000 for the installation of a swimming pool. Investigators say more than $72,000 was also spent on this home for interior decorating and mortgage payments. Authorities want to make sure that the contents of that Carmel home, as well as the house itself, are not sold while the investigation continues. Investigators are expected to go before a judge in federal court next week to make sure that doesn't happen. Roger Harvey, Channel 13 Eyewitness News.
Among the items that federal authorities want to seize, 9 flat-screen televisions, a pool table, and video arcade games. 1 man is dead, 1 woman critically injured following a single car crash on the city's east side this morning. Police say 16-year-old Eddie Warren was driving north on Ritter when he lost control near 28th Street and crashed into a utility pole. The passenger went to Methodist. Police say they do not believe alcohol was involved. And another accident, this one involving a pedestrian and a train on the city's west side. The train struck a man near Lyndhurst in Washington this morning, causing critical injuries. Deputies are not sure what the man was doing on the tracks at the time. It was a bizarre accident that left an Indianapolis girl impaled with a campfire fork. The injury put an 11-year-old Megan Buttle in the hospital for more than a month. But this morning, she walked out in good health. Eyewitness News reporter Jenny Renovich was there.
We thought it would be another month, but she progressed so well that she's been able to come home early, and we're really happy for her.
Megan Butler's all smiles as family and friends wheel her down the halls of Methodist Hospital. This has been her home for 9 long weeks.
It's a new thing again. It's all new again.
The 5th grader at Holy Angels School lived through the unthinkable. Just before Christmas, at this Near East Side apartment complex, Megan's stepbrother was swinging a campfire roasting fork. The metal part broke free and shot into Megan's forehead, 6 inches deep.
It kind of scared me because I've never seen nothing like that before. I've never seen a fork go in somebody's head.
There are staples going across
It paralyzed Megan's left side, and doctors had to remove part of her skull where the fork had lodged.
This is my peanut butter here.
But 2 surgeries and more than a month later, Megan is headed home.
Just seeing her being able to walk and talk and respond to you and all that kind of stuff, it was great.
Although a bit overwhelmed by all the attention, her happy homecoming wasn't without fanfare. Megan's grandma made sure she left the hospital in style with a limo ride downtown.
Just to make it special, because she's just a special kid. Love you. We've just been praying, and God's good. God's good. He just brought her through.
A strong young survivor back on the road to recovery. Jenny Runovich, Channel 13 Eyewitness News.
Megan still faces many months of therapy to help her heal, but her family says she's looking forward to going back to school and, of course, seeing her friends once again. The Winter Olympic Games in Torino, Italy are just about over. Tomorrow you can look forward to the closing ceremonies. But first, Americans go for the gold in speed skating, bobsled, and skiing. Eyewitness to Torino, Scott Swan, joins us live from the games with more. How you doing, Scott?
Ciao from Torino, where it's already Sunday morning. Lindsay, want to show you live pictures now of the Palavela, where you will see Apollo Anton Ono race in a couple of events. That's later tonight here on Channel 13 and NBC. Big question on Saturday here in Torino was up in Sestriere. Bodie Miller, he was 0 for 4 going into the slalom event today up in Sestriere. Big question, would he finally win a medal, or would he end up 0 for the Olympics? If you don't want to know the results, I'm going to put the results up on the screen and play some music. Close your eyes. Here come those results from Saturday. Okay, the music is over. You can go ahead and look again. Open your eyes. There's an American skier who often wears a tiara while she's skiing, and today she is wearing an Olympic gold medal. Let's show you some highlights from Sestriere yesterday. 21-year-old Julia Mancuso won the women's giant slalom Friday. Mancuso often skis in the slalom with a costume jewelry tiara instead of a helmet. That's a good luck charm from her coach. But yesterday, she had that helmet on instead, gave the American women their first Olympic alpine medal since Peekaboo Street's gold in the Super G and the Nagano Games back in '98. A big celebration when she crossed the finish line, falling down almost in disbelief. That celebration continued at the medal ceremony Friday night. Mancuso with a huge smile on her face when she heard the national anthem played and received her gold medal last night. Julia Mancuso wore that tiara, then talked with our sports director, Dave Calabro.
How are you going to celebrate?
First, go see my family and catch up with them because I've only seen them for about 2 minutes today.
Yeah. Julia Mancuso, show them your gold medal here, getting the giant slalom.
Woo!
You've done something nobody's done in a long time for the United States for the women.
Yeah, it's really exciting. I'm very proud to wear this.
Way to go for Julia Mancuso. Well, American speed skater Chad Hedrick leaving these Winter Olympic Games with 3 medals. He's got 1 of each color, gold, silver, and bronze. Let's take you over to the Oval in Godo on Friday, where Hedrick was racing in the 10,000 meter, took the silver. Teammate Shawnee Davis cheering him on. That's a good scene. Their feud apparently over. But again, Hedrick finished 10 seconds off his world record pace set 4 years ago. Chad Hedrick wins the silver. He's the only American so far with 3 medals in the Torino Games. Well, a pizza owner from Minnesota is celebrating a slice of U.S. Olympic history today. Pete Fenson, the skip for the U.S. men's curling team, won the first ever medal in curling. Let's show you the highlights from Friday. That was an exciting match. Again, Pete Fenson owns Dave's Pizza up in Minnesota. Yesterday, the pizza man bent his last shot into the target area, sealing the victory over Britain, the U.S. winning 8-6. And that victory especially sweet for Sean Rojeski. He helped earn the bronze on the 2-year anniversary of his mom's death, carried a picture of her during the tournament. For the first time in Olympic history, the Americans win a medal in curling.
We're pretty excited. Everybody feels pretty good. I mean, it's a nice way to end things off for sure. Feels pretty good. Olympic medalist. I don't think it's even hit me yet, except for these chills I've had since the last shot came to a rest.
It's great, you know. It's been a goal of a lifetime, and got a medal.
And remember, the Olympic Zone comes your way tonight on NBC and Channel 13 beginning at 7:30. NBC's coverage begins at 8 o'clock. Again, Americans going for gold in skiing, bobsledding, and short track speed skating. Hope you'll stay with us this evening. Reporting live in Torino, Italy on a cool Sunday evening, Scott Swan, Channel 13 Eyewitness News.
All right, Scott, enjoy a run down the Alps for me, would you? Thanks for that live report.
All right, I will.
Scott Swan in Torino, Italy. Where's Brad? A missing Plainfield man and the 6-week-long all-out search to find him. A sunny yet chillier day today, but hang tight. A warm-up is on the way.
That's exactly right. We were sunny and a little bit cooler today, but it's not going to last long. We have changes in your forecast. Details on that coming up.
Keeping their edge, free agency looms. Can the Colts hang on to their star running back? And another live look at Torino, Italy, as we get ready to close the door on yet another round of Olympic Games.
My mom and dad are saving money so that we can go to college.
What I find most valuable for me as I approach retirement is TCU Investment Services.
I've always felt comfortable with having my money with TCU.
I have people I can turn to whenever I have a financial question.
I know I'm getting treated well, and I know that I'm doing well with my investments.
The time spent in helping you make the right choices in your life are truly what TCU is all about.
What do you get at Honda West?
Everyone at Honda West is excited to help bring you the Winter Games. As you can see, the scenery in Torino, Italy is beautiful.
You know, Kathy, the scenery at Honda West is pretty nice, too.
Look at all these beautiful new and used Hondas at simply the best prices in town.
And to help make you feel like a winner, Honda West will put an extra $1,000 into your trade.
It's as good as gold. Simply the best. 38th and Georgetown Road. Honda West.
When you enter parenthood, a desire to protect and nurture comes with you, which could lead to Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance and our return of premium term life insurance. Through it, you'll receive the security you need without the hassle of a medical exam. And when your term is over, you can get back all the money you've put in, tax-free, guaranteed. And that's a nest egg that could really open doors. Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. We're part of your life.
Olympic coverage on WTHR is brought to you locally in part by Clarion Health Partners.
An all-out search tonight for a missing Plainfield man gone now for 6 weeks. 29-year-old Brad Hensley disappeared back in January. Today, the search for him came to Indianapolis. Here's Eyewitness News reporter Alex Sands.
I feel like I'm just treading water, just trying to get through each day. Barely keeping my head above water sometimes.
On what is a brisk winter morning, they are the words of a wife on a desperate search for the man missing from her life.
Some days are harder than others, but I just pray that he's safe somewhere, that we're going to get an answer soon.
It was 12 days into the new year when Kristen's husband of 4 years disappeared. Brad Hensley had left his home in Plainfield just after 6 that morning to head to work at Tri-Phase Auto on the east side of Indianapolis. He never made it there.
Scares you to death because you don't know what happened. Did he pick up a stranger on the side of the road? And, you know, so many things go through your mind.
The day he disappeared, Brad had his bank card and 2 cell phones with him. None have seen activity since, nor has anyone seen his red 2005 Jeep Wrangler. In the week since he was last seen, detectives in Hendricks County retraced his route to work with little success. They are baffled, as they have before. His wife, his family, his friends, and a team of trained searchers again this weekend canvassed parts of Indianapolis.
You never realize how many people come up missing or how much this happens until it happens to somebody you know or care about.
After another agonizing day of searching, the mystery of Brad's disappearance remains just that. His family and friends admit the road ahead is a long one. Alex Sands, Channel 13 Eyewitness News.
I saw a commercial today and it said the only thing that's not predictable about the weather is that it's not predictable. Immediately, I think, clearly you have never heard a forecast by Perel Lewis. You told us we were going to get a cold front.
Nice, right.
A cold front we got.
You know, I read somewhere Indiana is the 3rd hardest place to forecast for because
and that's
it changes.
Why you came for the challenge,
That's why I came for the challenge. It changes every single day, and this weekend will offer no exception. It was beautiful out there today. We had sunshine. We had a little bit of wind and slightly cooler air, but that did not stop the festivities downtown. It is Mardi Gras weekend, and Mardi Gras came all the way to Massachusetts Avenue this afternoon, and I tell you what, the gusty winds helped blow the beads a little bit farther, so Mother Nature getting in on the celebration. Right now, we are nice and cold. It's kind of interesting because we started this morning in the 40s. By the time these festivities took place, though, it was only in the 30s. That's where we stand right now. Take a look at your temperatures. 34 degrees in Kokomo, 34 right now in Indianapolis, and 34 in Rushville. There's a little bit of a wind chill, so it feels colder than that, more like the 20s all across central Indiana. High pressure is building in, and that means it's going to gradually clear us out. There's a little bit of cloud coverage for all of you in southern Indiana, but that's going to leave tonight. And as that moves away from us, that means you are going to cool down. So the cold front that came through earlier today is unleashing this Arctic blast of cold air and these gusty winds, and that's going to be here throughout the course of the entire weekend. But then it's gone. We're talking about just a brief visit of Canadian air. They're going to start to warm up by Monday. Take a look at tonight. Mostly clear. Tomorrow, we are looking at sunny skies once again. Still a little on the cool side. 30s tomorrow. Here come the changes, though. Tomorrow night into Monday, increasing clouds signifying that warmer air is also present. So on Monday, we're going to jump about 10 degrees, and our warm-up is going to continue from there. We're talking about the 50s by the middle of the week. So enjoy this crisp evening while we have it. 20 degrees, still windy, heading into tomorrow. 37 degrees for a high, and winds continuing to gust up to 15, even 20 miles an hour. A look at your extended forecast. Sunny, windy, and beautiful tomorrow. Warming on Monday. We're in the 50s with finally rain chances starting the brand new month by Wednesday and Thursday. So there you go. It's difficult to predict because it's one extreme to the other, but that's what we can expect over the next several days.
Difficult to predict, but Perella Lewis has got it covered.
That's right.
We'll be right back with sports.
What you doing? My parents are looking for a sofa.
Oh, yeah? Are you helping them?
Yeah.
What kind do you want? How about one that makes a great fort?
Yeah, that would be cool.
It's the final days of our grand opening event and your last chance to take advantage of free financing till 2010.
You know, if you don't like this fabric, we could get it in microfiber.
Really?
Yes. Sofa Express and more, expressly your style.
You knew them, you loved them, and for 5 years, they pitched products on your TV screen.
We were the HH twins.
So where are these former child stars now? All grown up and about to embark on a new life. Meet them Sunday night after closing ceremonies on Eyewitness News.
All new, for the first time in 46 years, the real Barbie revealed. He rarely does interviews. Red Hot designer Marc Jacobs and Elmo unveiled. Next Oprah.
Monday at 4 on Channel 13.
I am a child, and I have rights. I have the right to understand what the doctors are doing to make me feel better. I have the right to have a doctor just for me. I have a right to be scared if that's how I feel. I have the right to kid-sized treatment. I have a right for my mommy to be special just like me.
Thanks, honey.
St. Vincent Women's and Children's Hospitals, where women and children have the right to receive not only specialized care, but the spirit of caring.
Because I have rights, too.
Have you checked out Ford's great American lineup? 5 cars and trucks priced under 23 grand, all with great gas mileage. F-150, Ranger, 500, Escape, and Focus. Plus, right now, get an additional $500 President's Day bonus cash on the great American lineup. Great prices, great gas mileage, great value. Plus an additional $500 President's Day bonus cash. A special offer through February 28th only, and only at your Indiana Ford store.
Now, Eyewitness Sports.
Good evening. The Colts are taking a long look at all the running backs working out in Indianapolis this week at the NFL Scouting Combine. The Colts will likely have to replace their all-time leading rusher. The team re-signed wide receiver Reggie Wayne and defensive end Raheem Brock this week, but finding enough money to bring back Edgerrin James will be more difficult. The team decided not to put the franchise tag on Edgerrin this week, and that means barring a new contract, Edgerrin will become a free agent March 3rd. Colts President Bill Polian said today that he has not talked with Edgerrin's agent, Drew Rosenhaus. Edgerrin ran for over 1,500 yards and 13 touchdowns last season.
Reggie was priority 1. Raheem was priority 2. Now we turn to Edgerrin and David Thornton and see what we can do. And, you know, we'll keep working right on through the 3rd of March to make sure that we don't leave any stone unturned. If there's a deal to be made that makes sense, we'll try and do it. Right now, I'd say it's probably 50-50. But that's an uneducated guess because I haven't spoken with Drew.
It is a little bit unknown now, and so we have to prepare and look at backs, which we've never really done much of. But we've had that at other positions, and I think you just have to stay focused and not panic, and I think our organization does a good job of that.
With the Olympics wrapping up this weekend, we'll turn our full attention to Operation Basketball March Madness. The boys sectionals tip off Tuesday. The girls are headed to Conseco Fieldhouse for the state finals next Saturday. Today, semi-state action is Heritage Christian taking on North Knox down at Southport. Kelly Ferris with the steal and the score for the Eagles. She's just a freshman, and Heritage Christian jumped out to an 8-0 lead. Claire Freeman hits a three-pointer from the baseline, and Heritage Christian is rolling in this game as the Eagles soar to a 21-6 lead at the end of the first quarter. Bree Jones came up big time for Heritage Christian with 20 points. She drives, gets the bucket, plus the foul, and the Eagles win 52-36 to move on to Conseco for the second time in 3 years. And Heritage Christian giving the game ball to the wife of the late Dr. Mark Richards, the coach of the Eagles, died last year. Heritage Christian winning 52-36 in Class 2A. In Class A, South Central was also a winner over Attica down at Southport this afternoon. In Class A, Lafayette Central Catholic going to the state finals, beating Argos this afternoon. Other winners today, quickly telling you that Evansville Memorial beat Rushville 72-56 in Class 3A. And in Class 4A, South Bend Washington going to the state finals after beating Kokomo. And Hamilton Southeastern not winning today. That score just in as Castle beats Hamilton Southeastern 43-36. The Royals losing this afternoon. North Central won its second consecutive swimming and diving state championship as well today down at the natatorium. And the Pacers played so well during the longest home stretch of the season, winning 6 out of 7 games at Conseco Fieldhouse. And now you have to wonder where this team is again. They hit the road for the next 4 games following back-to-back losses. Last night against the Hawks, Steven Jackson missing the second half after he injured his knee late in the second quarter. And the Pacers missed free throws down the stretch, and that left the door wide open for the Hawks. And Joe Johnson hits the big shot. He scored 40 points and sends the game to overtime. Now, Freddie Jones had an opportunity to force a second overtime, but he misses another free throw. Anthony Johnson for the win. No. Danny Granger underneath. Can't get it. Another shot. Can't get it. And the Hawks are one of the worst teams in the league, but they have beaten the Pacers all 3 times this season. The Pacers lose 117-112. Indiana plays at New Jersey tomorrow night. Well, barring a home game in the NIT, Mike Davis coaches for the final time tomorrow at Assembly Hall. The Hoosiers host 14th-ranked Michigan State. IU can even its Big Ten record with a win, and Davis calls Sunday his senior day.
Unfortunately, I didn't get the job done the way I would have liked, but at the same time, I'm excited about the future of this program. Hope I can be a part of this program forever. It's gonna be emotional for me. I'm quite sure.
That game tomorrow at noon. Finally tonight, check it out. Butler hit a school record 18 three-pointers today at Detroit to come back from 17 points down in the second half. Here's another 3 for the Dogs as they were lighting it up from long distance. But then the game's tied at 71, just about 8 seconds left. Detroit drives and scores, and there's just a tick left on the clock as the Bulldogs lose 73-71. So the Bulldogs will have to settle for the number 2 seed in the Horizon League tourney.
All right, thanks, Rich. We'll be right back.
Health insurance today can be a complex and even painful maze for employers, members, even providers. Advantage Health Solutions will custom tailor a plan for your individual company, and more importantly, for your employees. Working together to provide the comprehensive coverage your employees and their families deserve. Individually tailored plans, solutions-oriented. Advantage Health Solutions, rising above the service you expect.
This is where you'll find extraordinary appliances for the heart of your home. H.H. Gregg Fine Lines, featuring the finest names in kitchen appliances, in beautifully designed kitchen displays to give you a startling idea of the possibilities. Our showroom is an experience like no other. Your dream kitchen is one step closer to reality. H.H. Gregg Fine Lines, extraordinary appliances for the heart of your home.
It's the first untaxed sale ever going on now at Hubler Chevrolet. We don't have to pay inventory tax anymore in February. So to celebrate, we're passing these savings down to you. Hundreds of brand new 2006 Chevrolet cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs for $88 down, $88 a month. Plus, we'll pay off your old car no matter how much you owe. $88 down, $88 a month. We invite you to be a customer for life.
DriveHubler.com.
Boy, it must be hard work coming up with new pizzas, because most of these places just push the same old toppings around, give it a snazzy name, and then charge you more. Real nice, huh? But not Donato's. Check out this new Smokehouse Barbecue Chicken Pizza. Oh, one bite of those crispy onions and sweet sauce and chicken, and it's like a one-way ticket to Memphis, but only for your tongue.
Olympic coverage on WTHR is brought to you locally in part by your local Toyota dealer.
Get all your Olympic needs met right here on Channel 13. Tonight, alpine skiing, biathlon, bobsled, short track as well. So stay tuned to the final full night of Olympic competition. All right, what's the final word on weather, Perella?
Well, if you want to stay warm, you can jog in place tonight. 20 degrees, your overnight low, and windy. Tomorrow, highs of only 37, so cold once again.
All right, thanks, Perella. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you tonight right here at 11:30, and once again at 10 on the SkyTrack.
When you're thought of as third, you're in an interesting situation. We're not the biggest. We don't want to be. We're not about to settle for number 2. We're a different university. Our students are doers, bright, curious, and our faculty first-rate. This place breeds innovation and success. I'm President Joanne Gora, and this is a new Ball State.
Jacobs, Jimmy Choo, and The Real Barbie, next Oprah.
Tom Cameron Swayze. Fred Huntley. David Brent, John Chen. Tom Brokaw.
Cycle of violence. Dozens killed as Iraqis continue to attack Iraqis. President Bush calls that country's leaders urging an end to the killing. The long road back for some Katrina evacuees, still waiting for FEMA's housing help. In depth, ports and politics. The uproar over the Arab company set to manage some of America's ports. And fast and faster, the work and the whacks that are keys to Olympic speed.
From NBC News World Headquarters in New York, this is NBC Nightly News with John Siegenthaler.
Good evening, everyone. A phone call from the President of the United States today to the leaders of Iraq. President Bush expressing his concern and support for a country hit by a new wave of violence, one that threatens to push Iraq into civil war. Some 60 Iraqis killed today in shootings and bombings, despite another daytime curfew and new calls for Iraq's leaders for restraint. We begin our coverage with NBC's Mike Betcher in Baghdad.
Baghdad, peaceful on the surface. But on the third day of an extraordinary 20-hour-a-day curfew, more evidence that Iraq is sliding toward civil war. A car bomb explodes in the Shiite holy city of Karbala, killing 8. 13 members of one Shiite family murdered in Bakuba. A funeral procession for a revered Iraqi journalist was attacked. Sunnis claim that more than 200 of their mosques have been attacked since Wednesday, when suspected Sunni insurgents destroyed one of Shia Islam's holiest shrines, the Golden Mosque in Samarra, the event that raised fears of civil war. Again today, American commanders and diplomats insisted that things here are not as bad as they look.
We're seeing pockets of violence, but we're not seeing civil war.
Indeed, Iraq's leading politicians, Sunni and Shiite, agreed tonight to push forward with efforts to form a new government. Even in the insurgent stronghold of Ramadi, 2,000 marched for peace. We in Iraq, Sunnis, Shiite, Christian, and Kurd are brothers, said one protester. But not even Iraq's defense minister was convinced that the crisis is over. Sadoun al-Dulaimi spoke of endless civil war and threatens he will fill the streets with armored vehicles to stop it. But most of the heavy weaponry here is manned by U.S. troops who are keeping a low profile.
We've got to get a little time to get the emotion out of this situation, because the United States does not want to appear to be taking sides in this conflict.
The curfew is meant to put a lid on sectarian violence before it boils over into civil war. But the quiet you find on many Iraqi streets is deceptive. Beneath a curfew-enforced calm, now extended to Monday, is fear that the genie of civil war is already out of the bottle. Mike Betcher, NBC News, Baghdad.
What sparked this latest example of personal diplomacy by the president? NBC's Rosalind Jordan joins us tonight from the White House with details. Good evening, Rosalind.
Good evening, John. White House officials say President Bush wanted the Iraqi people to know they can survive this latest wave of violence. After 4 days of violence, today the White House directly intervened in an unusual hour-long series of phone calls to Iraq's Prime Minister al-Jafari, President Talabani, and other political leaders. President Bush pushed them to do whatever they can to keep the nation together. According to a senior administration official, the president told the Iraqis he condemned the mosque attack. He urged them to keep appealing for calm, and he reminded them to keep focused on building a new government. Just yesterday, Mr. Bush said he understood just how dire the situation is in Iraq.
This is a moment of choosing for the Iraqi people. We can expect the coming days will be intense. Iraq remains a serious situation.
The White House official rejected suggestions the president is worried civil war might break out and that Mr. Bush is using his personal clout to keep the peace. But one longtime expert on Iraq says Mr. Bush had to intervene.
So even if we don't see a spiraling to civil war, and I don't think we will, it's one more thing that sets back positive momentum towards building a unified, stable Iraqi state.
And with the U.S. war about to enter its 4th year, today's telephone diplomacy gives the president a chance to shore up support at home.
He has to sell the policy. And the fact that it gets more difficult to do so, in some sense, probably increases his incentive to try.
Aides say the president has not spoken with Iraq's top Shiite cleric, but they stress that Mr. al-Sistani is an important part in trying to keep the peace. John?
NBC's Rosalind Jordan at the White House. Rosalind, thank you. Now to Texas, where the discovery of a potentially dangerous substance on a college campus prompted authorities to search a student dormitory looking for clues. NBC's Charles Hadlock reports from Austin.
Firefighters wearing protective suits combed a University of Texas dormitory last night and again today, looking for signs of ricin in students' rooms and the laundry. The poison scare began Thursday afternoon when a student preparing to wash some clothes opened a roll of quarters and a chunk of white powder fell in her dorm room. The student first used some of the quarters in a washing machine, then called campus police to report her concerns about the powder.
She recognized very astutely that that was not normal.
The state health lab initially reported the powder tested positive for ricin, a deadly substance that is a component of biological weapons, leading authorities to evacuate the dormitory and send in the hazmat teams.
So right now it is not confirmed that this is ricin. Just one of the tests came back with a weak positive hit for it.
2 years ago, the Senate office building in Washington, D.C. was evacuated after traces of ricin were found in the mailroom of Senate Majority Leader Bill Frist. That turned out to be a false alarm. The FBI has sent a team of agents trained in identifying the substances that make up biological weapons. They will take the powder found in the Texas dorm to a lab in Quantico, Virginia, for more testing. The student and her roommate were treated for exposure to ricin, but have shown no symptoms. Other students in the dorm feel a bit uneasy.
When I got there, I was afraid to go up to my room.
The student, a 19-year-old freshman, told authorities she had had the roll of quarters for some time.
She had these rolls for a while, so if somebody was trying to plan it as a terrorist attack, it didn't move very quickly.
University officials have ruled out terrorism, but they are left with the nagging question: what is the powder and where did it come from? Charles Hadlock, NBC News, Austin.
There are new signs tonight that the federal government, in the form of FEMA, is still not getting money to Katrina survivors who need it, specifically money that would help them pay for a temporary place to live. As NBC senior investigative correspondent Lisa Myers reports, months after the hurricane hit, thousands are still waiting.
After months of paperwork and red tape, Brian Jones and Michelle Cadet, evacuees from New Orleans, still have not received any rental assistance from FEMA. Only an understanding landlord in Illinois has kept them from being evicted.
I am so frustrated. I'm ready to just give up on FEMA.
Both have part-time jobs, which generate barely enough to survive. They emphasize that they don't expect the government to take care of them.
I just want them to get me on my feet, and I can take on the rest from there.
6 months after Katrina, FEMA acknowledges that 3,286 applications for assistance are still pending. The basic rental assistance, $2,358, is supposed to cover 3 months' rent. This internal FEMA document, dated last month and obtained by NBC News, reveals that 3 of FEMA's 10 regions reported that some evacuees still had not received housing assistance. Some had received no FEMA assistance at all. One region complains of continuing bureaucratic snafus. Documentation sent to FEMA processing centers not scanned for weeks and often lost. The FEMA helpline gives applicants bad, wrong, and insufficient information.
We've been through hell.
These 71-year-old twin brothers, Alfred and Alvin Taplett, say FEMA wouldn't give them rental assistance unless they split up and lived alone. They refused. They managed to scrape together enough from shining shoes, their Social Security, and donations to get an apartment. But it's tough.
We're going to be together long as we live. That's it.
A New York lawyer has taken FEMA to court.
It's simply ridiculous that this federal agency has yet to provide folks with the temporary housing assistance to which they're entitled.
FEMA says it's processing applications as fast as it can, that 664,000 applicants have gotten rental assistance, and that it's not unusual to have applications pending after a disaster. But that's little solace to those who say FEMA is making it more difficult to put their lives back together. Lisa Myers, NBC News, Washington.
There's word tonight of the passing of TV legend Don Knotts. The popular character actor first entered America's hearts and homes more than 40 years ago. NBC's James Hattori looks back on his career and the memorable characters he created, still entertaining us to this day.
But let me do this. To a generation of Americans, Don Knotts was Barney Fife, the bumbling yet endearing deputy sheriff of Mayberry on the Andy Griffith Show in the 1960s. Everything about that letter. R-E-V-E-N-G. Revenge?
I thought one of the greatest characters in television history was Barney Fife.
It was an offshoot of a character Knotts originated in his first big showbiz break on NBC's Tonight Show with Steve Allen. I only have 10 seconds. Knotts parlayed his TV success to hit the big screen, starring in several movies, including the incredible Mr. Limpet, earning him a spot on Hollywood's Walk of Fame.
I'm going to come down here every morning and shine that sucker, I'll tell you.
Knotts became an icon to a new generation in the early 1980s, playing the would-be swinger landlord on Three's Company.
Now look, I run a clean family building here. I won't put up with anything kinky.
Knotts kept busy even in his later years, lending his voice to Turkey Lurkey in last year's Chicken Little, a voice and actor who endeared himself to generations of Americans. Don Knotts was 81. James Hattori, NBC News, Los Angeles.
When we come back this Saturday, the storm over the ports. How the furor over control of America's seaports exploded. That story coming up in depth. And later, the science of speed, turning the slopes into speedways.
Want to know a secret? For some adults, today's lunch is A3. And this is what some grown-ups think it means to eat their vegetables. That's why there's Delicious and Sure, a source of complete balanced nutrition with protein, 24 vitamins and minerals, food energy. Have a delicious shake for lunch or as a pick-me-up anytime. So even if you don't always eat right, you can still eat smart. Drink and Sure, nutrition for a healthier you.
The Astelin?
It could be allergies getting to you. But irritants can cause your symptoms too.
Astelin is seasonal allergy medicine, also approved for nasal symptoms caused by irritants like smoke and smog. These aren't.
For people 12 and over, most common side effects may include bitter taste, headache, nasal inflammation or burning, and drowsiness.
Don't let allergens or irritants do you in.
Ask your doctor about
Astelin.
Experience Ambien CR for yourself. Talk to your doctor to see if Ambien CR is right for you. Then call for your 7-day free trial offer. Ambien CR has a controlled release formula in a 2-layer tablet. The first layer dissolves quickly to help you get to sleep fast, while the second layer dissolves slowly to help you stay asleep. So you can wake up and get ready for your day. Ambien CR is non-narcotic and is one of many treatment options in addition to lifestyle changes that you and your doctor can consider, and it is not limited to short-term treatment. Until you know how Ambien CR will affect you, you shouldn't drive or operate machinery. Side effects may include next-day drowsiness, dizziness, and headache. You shouldn't take it with alcohol. All sleep medicines carry some risk of dependency. Do not use sleep medicines for extended periods without first talking to your doctor. Be sure you're able to devote 7 to 8 hours to sleep before you need to be active again. Call today for your 7-day free trial offer of Ambien CR. Tomorrow will thank you.
Is your relationship in its early years? Or are you old pals? Are you close friends in the great indoors? Or a family in a full house? Are you living the Purina Catchow way of life? Essential nutrition for each life stage or lifestyle, and access to behaviorists, nutritionists, and vets for a happy, healthy life together. Physical, emotional, complete. That's the Purina Catchow way of life. Indoor cats crave wholesome grains and garden greens. Feed them Purina Catchow Indoor Formula for a happy, healthy way of life.
NBC News in depth tonight. The debate over America's ports. Should a company owned by the United Arab Emirates be allowed to operate some of America's largest ports? The Bush administration says yes, but there is growing opposition to the idea. New Jersey's governor, Democrat John Corzine, was just one of the politicians who spoke out against the deal today. Even though it appears this proposal has been temporarily delayed while Congress takes a closer look, there's no sign the controversy is going away.
What the heck is going on?
At the WOR radio station in New York, the phone lines are jammed with callers.
I'm infuriated.
This thing just doesn't compute.
Are we really in a war on terror for letting this happen?
Veteran broadcaster Ed Walsh says the way this issue has played out is unusual even for talk radio callers.
It isn't even a polarizing issue. There's virtually nobody on the other side.
On the political front, the port debate has even brought Republicans and Democrats together.
Let the president get all macho and say he's going to veto the bill. We'll override his veto.
We have a duty to protect our country, to protect our port, and to protect our citizens.
Political analyst Stu Rothenberg says for many politicians, it's a no-brainer.
Democrats get to beat up on the president and portray themselves as tougher on national security and fighting terrorism, and Republicans get to criticize the president to distance themselves from a very unpopular White House.
Well, the president didn't even know. That's tonight's headline.
As news of the deal spread, many Americans in the affected port cities expressed their fears.
As far as we're concerned, this is an unconscionable decision by our government to sell our ports and put us at risk.
Americans with guns should guard the ports.
And that sentiment is creating another kind of fear in some communities.
I think it's racism, and I'm a little tired of hearing it.
Under this deal with the United Arab Emirates, U.S. Customs and the Coast Guard will still be in charge of security at the ports. That won't change. And John Zogby of the American Arab Institute says this debate has exposed a deep vein of anti-Arab sentiment in the U.S. What do you make of the U.S. reaction to this deal?
Well, I think that much of it's been shameful, actually. I'm upset with the way members of Congress have callously exploited that fear for their own political advantage. It hurts the American people, and it hurts our relationships with other countries in the world.
Even though the Dubai-based company seems willing to delay taking control of the U.S. ports, several states are still planning legal action to try to stop the deal. And this program note. Tim Russert will have more on port security and Iraq tomorrow in Meet the Press, along with an exclusive interview with California Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger. And you can look for Meet the Press at a special later time tomorrow morning following NBC's coverage of the Olympic men's gold medal hockey games. So check your listings. When NBC Nightly News continues, Apollo's guest, an American skating star.
So you're saying he's a fairy?
Snack fairy.
Help! A little help! And he brought you gifts?
Yep. Brought these.
Fig Newtons. 100% whole grain?
They're good, actually.
Yep, they are good.
We love your cookies, sir.
Walk it off, Snack Fairy!
New 100% whole grain Fig Newtons from Nabisco.
Snack happy.
What tobacco issues are important to you?
I know smoking is dangerous, and I've decided to quit.
Cigarette smoking causes serious diseases. It is addictive, and it can be very hard to quit. At philipmorrisusa.com, you can find links to information from public health authorities on the serious health effects of smoking, as well as Quit Assist, an information resource for smokers who've decided to quit. Find out more. Visit philipmorrisusa.com.
The more I see you, the more I want you. Somehow this feeling just grows and grows.
Tide, just one capful has 3 times the stain-removing power of the next leading regular detergent, so clothes look spotless, craving after craving. Tide knows fabrics best.
Ira, listen to me. You're my agent. You have to believe me. I can't do it. Why? Because it hurts. I'm trying right now, and it's not working. We have to cancel the date. A leave? Sure, I'll try it.
Fortunately, just 2 Aleve have the strength to stop arthritis pain all day.
That's good news. That's Aleve.
If you have indoor or outdoor allergies, ask your doctor about something different. Singulair. While many allergy medicines block histamine, Singulair works differently by blocking leukotrienes, an underlying cause of allergy symptoms. And Singulair is approved to help relieve both indoor and outdoor allergy symptoms for a full 24 hours. Side effects are generally mild and vary by age and may include headache, ear infection, sore throat, and upper respiratory infection. Singulair, a different way to treat indoor and outdoor allergies.
In Britain, police today arrested 2 men in connection with what could be the largest heist in that country's history. On Wednesday, thieves hauled away as much as $87 million from a storage depot. Since then, police have recovered some of that money. Among American athletes in Italy, few entered the games as well known as speed skater Apollo Ono. But for Olympic champions to achieve world-class status, they have to endure a program of discipline and solitude that is, you might say, Olympian. NBC's Mike Taibbi takes us a look at what it took for Ono.
Lean, 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 forward, forward. To a new generation of future speed skaters, bend those knees. Apollo Anton Ono is a hero. The winner of 2 short track medals in Salt Lake City won a controversial gold when a South Korean skater was disqualified for blocking.
And there is America's first short track gold medalist.
Ono's matinee idol style, symbolized by his soul patch goatee,
Please welcome Apollo Anton Ono.
propelled him to instant celebrity.
I was just like, wow, all this from being a short track speed skater from Seattle.
But having earned the limelight and the money and attention that go with it, That's it, right there, right there.
Hey.
Ono retreated to his Spartan dorm room at the Colorado Olympic Training Center, and to the regimen's comforting to him
Super chicken noodle soup
of living and training with other world-class athletes. The monastic life of the workout fanatic, on land, in the gym, and relentlessly on the ice.
Ono knew he had to train even harder and continue to get better, and he has. In fact, he came to Torino as the man to watch.
I don't know about dominant, but I know that I can be there fighting with the other guys.
Human NASCAR on ice, he calls it.
Nothing beats the feeling of racing, the speed, the competitiveness. We're skating like on 17-inch like samurai blades, you know, samurai swords. It's crazy.
His father, Yuki, often leaves his Seattle hair salon to travel with the son he raised as a single parent and now manages.
I can visualize what he's really facing.
Which means that together they braced for the worst in Seoul last October for a competition amid hostile South Korean memories of Salt Lake. What they found surprised them. Because when Ono won 2 races, these fanatic fans of his sport showed they were fans of his, too. An athlete's athlete, consumed by preparing, racing, battling, and winning. Mike Taibbi, NBC News, Torino.
So how did Apollo Ono do? We're about to show you. But first, our nightly warning. If you do not want to see the results of the events to be broadcast on NBC tonight, now's the time to look away. Okay, here are the results for the men's 500-meter short track, the men's 5,000-meter relay, the women's 1,000-meter short track, now the women's 5,000-meter speed skating event, to the 4-man bobsled, and to Bodie Miller's last event, the men's slalom. NBC's coverage resumes tonight at 8, 7 Central, and it is, of course, once again safe to look at the screen. And when we come back, the secrets of ski wax.
Feel what better water does for you.
I'm Clarence, and I'm a scientist at GSK. Want to know how hard it is to find a new medicine? It's like trying to find one particular snowflake out of millions. We've been developing a vaccine against bird flu, but the challenge is that we don't know if or when bird flu is coming. People might be surprised to know that we've been working on this for several years. It's a huge challenge, but we're going to be as ready as we can, even when it's for something that we hope never happens.
GlaxoSmithKline.
Incoming email.
With OnStar Vehicle Diagnostics, your Chevy runs hundreds of diagnostic checks every month and emails you the results. It's like having a conversation with your vehicle.
Hey, I'm really glad we could talk like that. We should do it again.
There's no extra cost to eligible OnStar subscribers. Just press your blue OnStar button to sign up. Chevy, America's #1 brand, offers more vehicles with the peace of mind of OnStar.
Our taxes are done. Our taxes are done.
What? Shouldn't we have gone to one of those tax stores?
TurboTax asks me questions just like H&R Block does. Then it puts the answers on all the right forms.
But the tax guy checks it.
TurboTax checks for errors and missed deductions.
How do we know it's right?
All calculations are guaranteed accurate. Besides, over 20 million returns were prepared with TurboTax last year alone.
Well, if it's so good, then how much are we getting back? Wow!
TurboTax. Taxes made easy, taxes done right.
Sunday, an exclusive interview with California Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger, plus the latest on port security and civil unrest in Iraq, only on Meet the Press.
Michael Brown names names, NBC Nightly News Monday.
Finally tonight, in Olympic competition, microseconds can make the difference between a gold medal winner and an also-ran, leaving athletes on a constant search for every edge they can get. NBC's Kerry Sanders takes us on a look at how some Olympic skiers have perfected the art of greasing the skids.
On the downhill and on the uphill, sometimes who wins gold is determined by nanoseconds.
Denaria by 7/10. He is the Olympic champion.
And in those razor-thin finishes, athletes say it often comes down to this: the science and the art of grinding and waxing the skis. American downhiller Darren Rawls.
You gotta throw on the wax to have a chance.
And just where is the U.S.'s top secret formula made? Deep in the mountains of Germany, where Bernd Eisenbichler, one of the world's best wax masters, mixes his potion.
Can make the difference for sure between bronze and gold. Everybody has good skis, but to win a medal, you need the perfect ski, you need the perfect grind on the perfect ski.
Which grind and wax to use? Calculated by the snow's temperature, humidity, and composition. Is it soft or hard, dry or wet, granular or slushy? The goal is simple, but achieving it much more difficult. To create conditions for the least amount of resistance between the ski and the snow.
If it's really, really cold snow, you can hear, walking. So then you need a really fine grind because the big grind would...
Like friction?
Yeah.
Hard wax is for icy conditions.
And then we wax them another 3-4 times with very, very soft wax.
Soft wax for drier snow. 5 to 6 layers of a magic elixir that can cost more than $600 an ounce.
Whether you're looking to propel a rocket or whether you're looking to propel a skier, it's good to be able to take a scientific approach.
Biathlete Sarah Conrad is a PhD herself in earth sciences. But she says you don't need an advanced degree to believe what happens in here can make the difference out here.
Bringing him into the finish.
And here. Kerry Sanders, NBC News, Cesana San Sicario.
That's NBC Nightly News for this Saturday. Thanks for watching. A reminder, NBC's primetime Olympic coverage at 8, 7 Central Time. I'm John Siegenthaler reporting tonight from New York. I'll see you back here again tomorrow night.
After the Olympics, it's goodbye to Reno. Hello, New Orleans. Next week on Today, the Mardi Gras. But can the Big Easy pull off the big party? Join Katie and Al live from a city that just won't quit. Plus, the battle of the billionaires. Martha Stewart versus the Donald. What's it all about? We'll ask them on the Today Show.
Monday, inside TV's hottest show, Deal or No Deal. The secrets, the strategies, what it takes to win. On the Money, Monday on CNBC.
At Morgan Hospital and Medical Center, ER stands for Emergency Ready, and we are 24/7. Did you know that the average emergency room waiting time at other hospitals is 2.5 hours? At Morgan Hospital and Medical Center, you'll see the doctor in 30 minutes or less. And when minutes matter most, we're your immediate connection to attention and treatment. We're Morgan County's first choice for emergency care. Morgan Hospital and Medical Center.